And excellent. So we're sitting on the edge of a blanket, rolled up, or a cushion, in cross-legged or kneeling. But let's make sure that those sits bones are your base, your strong roots into the earth. Rub the hands together, warm your system through those magic palms, and take the palms behind you to the lower back. Elbows behind you, already feeling a sense of opening across the chest. And notice that you have a curve in that lower back. And if it isn't a curve, sit up higher on the blanket, or you can even bring your knees up a little higher in that cross-legged, placing a block underneath them. Release the hands, take them to the thighs, feel that warmth, feel that sense of connection. The thighs drop to the earth, and then we can start to tune into the breath. So just close the eyes to cut out your visual distractions, which really brings us into a focus, into an internal focus. Noticing your breath and the quality it's having this morning or this afternoon, depending on where you are. Begin to scan the breath and notice where it's traveling in the body. There's no judgment to bring to the breath, just a witnessing. Today's theme is coordinating the breath and your movement. It's interesting that we learn how to coordinate a lot of our movements throughout our lives, learn new movements even in our physical practices. In a lot of those areas, though, we don't necessarily coordinate the breath. So I'd like to think about matching the breath with your movement. And then hopefully when you leave class today, you'll have that sense of carrying that forward so that your movement and your breath match throughout your day, and you can check in on that relationship. Take a moment to scan the body and notice where the points of tension are. If there's areas of discomfort in the seated position, notice the areas without doing any physical movement. Just notice them and send breath in that direction. That intention of the breath is very powerful. And the exhale allows us to release that tension. If only the tiniest bit, each time we'll get better. Inhale, pause, and then exhale. And as we've done before, after witnessing the breath, we can bring ourselves to a conscious breath, a more yogic breath. And today, along with coordinating the breath and the movement, you can simply slow down your breath. So slow down the inhale. Notice the pause, and then slow down the exhale. Lengthen it. Notice the pause. Slowing down our breath based upon some learning we've been doing here with that book called Breath is to come back to a more natural breath for the human body is a slower breath. Our bodies moving through history have had more of a slow pace rather than the flurry around us that we currently have that absolutely primally affects our breath. So if you can consciously slow it down, you'll brighten everything inside a little bit more and move that energy outward. A couple more rounds of breath here. And then flutter the eyes open. And then bring the gaze forward and drop the fingertips beside you. Let's grow some extra roots below us besides those sits bones. So imagine Those sits bones are reaching to the depths of the earth, and then you've got these fingertips, the tendrils, and they're growing roots just as a tree would to become stronger and more fortified. Inhale into that long spine. Exhale, take the palms, face them up towards that upward motion to the sky. Inhale, and we'll take them up, reaching, reaching, reaching. Lengthen through your side of your torso as much as through the arms, and exhale, turn the palms outward and come back down and find those roots again. Briefly for that pause in breath, turn the palms up towards the inhale, and then we'll inhale all the way up, and that allows us to fill the body a little bit more. The ribs open up. Exhale, take the palms out and down. So this is a wing-like motion. So inhale, take the palms up. As you rotate those hands and then rotate them outward again and exhale, notice the opening across the collarbones. Feel the back body getting a new glide through those shoulders, shoulder blades. One more inhale. Really reach up long this time. Feel the ribs. There's more opening through the rib cage. Exhale down, and we'll take those fingertips and we'll take a trip with our nice neck range here. Inhale, grow tall. Really get a sense of maybe an inch taller. Exhale, take the right ear towards the right shoulder. Pressing through the left fingertips on the other side of your tilt will really bring the stretch a little deeper into the left side. Inhale your left ear up towards the sky. Exhale, allow the softening on the right side. And then on your next exhale, see if you can turn your chin towards your right shoulder, if that works. So it's a gentle turn, gazing down at your right fingertips. And then the chin is going to trace along the collarbone towards the middle of the body. Looking down, and then trace across the left collarbone to the left shoulder, pressing through the right fingertips. You feel that sense of long connection to the neck, to the fingertips, and then come back to center. Inhale, let's look up. Imagine your favorite kind of sky above you, and then exhale, look down at the earth again. Bring the gaze forward. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, let's take the left ear towards the left shoulder. Press through the right fingertips. And then connect with the breath as you lift the right ear towards the sky and soften on the left side. Nice, long stretch on that right side, and then turn the chin towards the left shoulder. And then trace along the left collarbone towards the middle of the body. And let's cross the bridge there and go over to the right side. So trace with your chin as well as you can across the right collarbone. Come back to center, looking down at your legs, feeling the back of the neck, and then inhale, look up. And then exhale, bring the gaze to neutral. And then we're going to take the palms to the sky again on a nice inhale. Take the palms outward, and when we exhale, we're going to loop the arms together, sweep down. We're going to take eagle arms, so right elbow comes under left elbow. Cross those hands, bring the backs of the hands together. So bring the elbows up in line with the shoulders. You can switch the cross of your legs if that works for you right now. And so we've got that nice horizontal line. You can wrap your palms together and really bring yourself into the midline. But either way, you want to squeeze into the midline with your arms and your hands. So you're going to feel a stretch already across the arms, especially the right side. And then slide your elbows towards away from the body and inhale them back into the body. So you'll feel the shoulder blades squeeze together. And let's take a nice gliding here, dusting off those shoulder sockets inside out. back and forth. Great. And now come back to a neutral. So your shoulders are rolled away from the ears, excuse me, and we're gonna take our our elbow to the right, both elbows to the right, towards the right shoulder. Exhale to the middle. Inhale and exhale. Let's go sliding to the left side. Really feel that stretches through those tissues and come back to the middle. Inhale, let's take the elbows up towards the sky. Looking up, feeling that arch in the mid back. And then bring the elbows down and we'll bring ourselves back to earth, those anchors of the sits bone. But now we're going to bring that energy down as the elbows come towards the navel. Opening up the rhomboids in between the shoulder blades. You can duck the head down. And then come back up again, and we're going to unwind this all the way back up again. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, bring the left arm under right. And back of the hands or palms together. Find your center. Slow the breath, inhale, exhale, and then slide the elbows out away from the body. And then slide them back. So the shoulder blades here, the action is they're separating and then coming together. Waking up another side of the body. Bring that back to neutral. And we'll take the elbows over to the left, toward the left shoulder. And then slide over to the right as we just explore those connections of our upper body. And then come back to center and we'll look up towards the sky. Elbows come up towards the sky. Bring the gaze up if you can, feeling that arch in your neck. And then come back down to earth, pointing the fingers downward and the elbows come towards the navel. This is a great thing if you're wanting to take a break from hunching over, a great sequence. Come back in front of you, release your arms. If you have a block handy, let's take that to your side and we're going to come to recline for some core work and with our bridge pose. So let's take the soles of the feet to the floor. You guys already know the good setup here. Take the soles of the feet to the floor, hip width apart, knees hip width apart. Find your sacrum, that triangular bone at the bottom of the spine. And then the skull is aligned with that sacrum. So we're in a beautiful spine draping downward alignment. And you have, as you find your sacrum, you can really feel that arch in the lower back accentuated, not hyper accentuated, but just noticing it, its natural curve. Take the block, if you have that available, place it between the thighs at whatever setting of that block allows your knees to be hip width apart and your feet to stay hip width apart. Some people need it wider than others. Find your feet and then squeeze gently on that block and you'll notice it will really wake up the middle of those inner thighs. So that center strength that keeps you stable. Inhale nice and slow, exhale, drop the arms beside you and feel that sense of melting through the shoulders. So we're really finding that earth below us on that exhale. And now stepping strong through two big footprints there, lift the hips up towards the sky as you squeeze the block and press down into the earth with the arms. Lift the hips up, feel everything toning there, squeezing that block. Let's clasp the hands behind the body along the earth. See if you can wiggle those shoulders underneath you a little bit more. Inhale into that full torso, length of the torso. Exhale, release the hands and snake the spine back down. So we're just activating that full spine. Inhale, let's lift the hips again. In the meantime, another little cue I didn't mention, which is to take your fingertips and find your heels. So tap the back of the heel with your fingertips on and make sure we're in alignment there. Great. So inhale, lift the hips up. Okay, so now you're stepping strong through the feet. Lengthen the spine before we go into that arch in the mid and upper back. Lengthen first. Exhale and find your feet, find the back of the head, and then reach the arms or take the elbows to beside you and then press the elbows into the earth. So it really allows more lift. And then again, with a new breath, reach towards the sky, long arms, and then take those arms next to the ears. You feel how much longer you can get from your knees to your fingertips and keep that block strength on the block going. Exhale, let's take the arms to the sky again. Hug a cloud, bring the elbows down, arms down, snake down. Let's make a beautiful fluid movement matching our breath, a nice slow breath with the movement. Inhale, hips up. Elbows, long arms, next to the ears. Exhale, reaching up again. Elbows, snake it down. Try that again. Really make this fluid through the spine. Inhale up. Elbows. Reach. Long. Wave it back. Find the earth. Try it again. I'm not going to give the cues this time. I just encourage you to make this a wave action. Your inhale will take us to that long position. Exhale, snaking back down. Inhale. Once again. Coordinate your breath and your movement. Remove the block and place it to the side, and we'll get a little more into our core. So take, again, that nice strong position with the feet. Take the arms fully along the floor. Press into the floor with your palms. Feel that connection. And our next inhale, we're going to lift the right foot off the floor by about an inch. And notice you want to keep the sacrum very planted, and you want to keep that arch in the lower back. All the stability here in the core, you're going to keep that integrity. That's the most important part. Exhale and place the foot down. When I say inhale and exhale, you can take breaths in between. I'm just guiding the lift on the inhale. Let's take the left side. Lift the left foot off the floor, about an inch or two. Notice the effect on your core there, and then place it back down. Another reminder is to take the lower ribs and see if you can press those towards the earth and really engage that big abdominal support. Inhale, right foot up. Exhale, place it down. And you can increase the lift on the foot depending upon how that affects your core. Keep the core stable. Inhale and exhale up and down with the breath. So this is kind of like walking, but we're of course in a different position. But when you walk and when you flex those legs, you can bring this breath and this strength into the core at any time. Continue to lift. And now we're going to see if we can coordinate our arms with the legs. So let's take the arms up towards the sky. Again, that big hug a cloud position. And then we're going to match the movement of the leg with the arm. So the arm will come towards that position above the ears. Next to the ears, sorry, and place it down. You can see up here, I'm doing this. It's as if a string is between my hand and my knee and pedaling up and down. So try that. And then your next challenge, if you choose to take that, is to see if you can not place the foot down, but keep the feet hovering about an inch above the mat when you come down, and lift them off the mat. So you've got the stability, an extra challenge to keep that core stability. But if your core, you can see me doing it up here. If that core stability becomes challenged in any way, if you have pain in your lower back, just bring it back to its easier or simpler version, and no judgment. Let's continue to match the movement with the breath. As you reach up behind you, you'll get an inhale and exhale down. How much can you support your strength with that beautiful, powerful breath? Find your breath. And one more, because we want to get strong in the core. One more rotation here. Oh, really nice. Now release both feet back down to the earth, right and then left. And then lengthen the body. Take the arms next to the ears and lengthen the legs, straighten them out. Stand against an imaginary surface with those feet, so you can feel the heels reaching down, and reach through the whole body and the fingertips. Take the left hand and grab the right wrist and lengthen your right side a little bit, upward and over, and then take the right hand to the left wrist and lengthen that side. Inhale as you stretch, exhale, find the earth again. And then bend the knees. And we're going to flip this over completely like a pancake. So roll over onto your side, and we're going to take our tabletop. Fix my hair, and then we'll take the blanket underneath the knees. Set up here so that it's about 3/4 down the mat. Make a nice even fold. You want to make sure there's an even surface underneath, keeping our joints nice and aligned. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're in tabletop, and then take that block briefly to your inner thighs. Same thing. Make sure they're hip width apart. And in this position, you can feel that strength of your inner thighs that you can tap into later, but we're taking that reminder of our strength. And from here, we'll take a cat-cow while squeezing the block. So tuck the tailbone under, inhale as you lift the back of the spine towards the ceiling, dropping the head. Explore the spine, excavate any tension. And then lift the tailbone up towards the sky, squeeze the shoulder blades together and look up. So as your skull is part of this traveling up the spine, cat again. And then cow. And then I'm going to have you take your forearms down to below the shoulders so that the elbows are in line with the shoulders. Your palms are really going to be grounded into the earth. So your spine is in the diagonal. We did this the other day. And then I want you to squeeze that block as you inhale and take the tailbone down. Same thing, cat. But in this time, you're going to feel the shoulder blades really separate. Unround that back. It's so delicious. And then look at your knees and take this into cow, forearm cow. So you'll take another kind of exploration of the spine here as you continue this undulation with your breath. Exhaling as you come into cow. One more, because this is so amazingly therapeutic. Inhale. And exhale. I say this is a good one to do if you have a firm mattress, just to kind of wake up every day and do a few of these, especially with the forearms. It's especially stabilizing. Really nice. And then remove the block. Place it to the side. And then with your arm strength, come on up, bring the hands below you, and then come up to our regular tabletop. We're going to take a side to side trip here. Inhale, grow long through the spine, and now take a side bend toward the right hip. So it's like a swaying side to side to the right and the left. Side bend, feel that flexibility of the spine. Just goes so many directions. Really cool. Maybe you'll hear some snap, crackle, pop. Just no pinching. Wag your tail. Great. And then we're going to take our cat and walk it like we did the other day. We're going to walk to so that the length of the mat is to our side. And we'll remove that blanket, cushion, any props off to the side. We're going to take the same journey we did the other day, which is through 3 incredibly beautiful magic 3 poses of yoga, but we're going to use the breath. So the other day we moved through them, but now that you know this pathway a little better, I'm going to have you really tap into that breath at coordination. Okay, so now we're in all fours with that length of the mat beside us. Take those palms, feel that sense of grounding below you, the anchor through the shins, the anchor through the hands. And now curl the back toes under both feet. Lift the hips up off the mat. Walk slightly forward with your knees bent. Bring the ribs to the thighs. Reach long through the spine. So you feel the crown of the head reaching towards the hands as they reach away from you. You got a nice long diagonal. Oh, it's kind of so yummy, especially if you pull back towards the mat with your hands. Really lengthening and allowing the spine to grow longer. So let's walk those, bring the hands closer to the mat and walk the feet out to the side in a nice wide forward bend. Let's make this a nice long through the spine first on an inhale. Kind of lengthen and straighten out the back in a diagonal, and then exhale. See if you can release down from the hips, joints, all the way down to the crown of the head towards the earth on an exhale. Forward bend, wide feet. Take one coordination with our breath here as we lengthen into a flat back, using your hands as your base. Inhale, grow long. Exhale, drape down into a forward bend. Hang the head. Inhale again. Sweep up into a flat back. Exhale, bring it down. And now inhale up into a flat back. Take the hands to the top of the thighs. Let's take that inward motion with our hands towards the inner thighs as we recognize that that's inwardly rotating the legs and those hip joints, so we can free up the lower back and inhale up to a wide standing position. Let's take those feet and make sure they're parallel. Really build a strong base here. And footprints in the sand. Inhale, let's switch the feet as we did before. Take the right toes to the right. Front heel aligned with back arch. Angle that front back foot towards the front of the mat slightly. Come back to parallel. And if this bothers your knees or at all, I would highly encourage you to step into position rather than roll. Left toes to the side. So we're setting ourselves up for that warrior stance. Inhale back to parallel. And then we'll go over to the other side, right toes. So we're setting up for a beautiful proud warrior here. And guess what? We're going to add a little peace into it today, a little peaceful warrior. So keep those hands at the top of the thighs. Inhale, grow the spine long. Exhale, bend the right knee towards the middle two toes. Bring the pelvis down in the middle. We don't want to be leaning over. We want to keep that strong trunk of the torso nice and tall. There we go. So you've set this up, strength through the feet. Take the arms out long. And then inhale, as we did in the beginning, up towards the sky. Exhale, really settle into the pose, settle into your feet as you gaze over the right fingertips. Feel the feet. And then drop your left hand towards the left thigh, lift the right palm up towards the sky, and sweep the body up. Your hips are slightly at a diagonal angle, but you're gonna take that spine flexibility and look up towards the sky with a peaceful warrior. Sweep with the exhale back to proud warrior. And then inhale the arms up to the sky again. Inhale. Exhale, begin to switch the feet. Sweep the arms down. Find the earth with those feet. And then inhale the arms up again. Exhale, switch the feet to the other side. Set up for proud warrior, bend the left knee. Check your stability, your center point here. Look over your, and then inhale the arms up again. Exhale, look at your left hand. And you're in proud warrior. Establish those feet, making sure to align your knee behind the toes. Look forward. Inhale. Exhale, drop the right hand towards the right thigh. Lift the left palm up. Point up to the sky. Bring the gaze up. Peaceful warrior. Exhale, go back to proud warrior. Inhale the arms up as you straighten the legs, bringing the feet forward. Exhale, go back to that same base on the other side as you bring the arms nice and long. We're in a T position. So we're coordinating our flow here, keeping those feet nice and aligned. Arms long, and we're going to tilt over into triangle. So we're going to tilt the pelvis over to the right, reaching along through the spine, come down to the shin or a block, and then sweep the left arm up, nice and long through the collarbones, kind of making that triangular shape. The lines are straight and long. Exhale, find the earth through your feet. And then inhale, sweep up again, arms up to the sky on this transition. Really make the length happen. And exhale, switch the feet. Oops, sorry. Keep that left leg straight, T arms, and then tilt, spill the pelvis over, drape the spine over. Find a base with your left hand. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. So we're lengthening both sides of the body here. It's not just the right side. Find the feet on the exhale. Scan the body again here. On your inhale, allow that to float you back up. Switch the feet to parallel, reach up tall. And now we'll find that position again on the right, because we know these well, so we can really coordinate better. Exhale, bend the right knee towards those toes. And we're going to take a side angle. So again, the same spilling action of the pelvis, but with a bent knee. So come forward, tilt over to the right, bring the right arm to the right thigh. Inhale the left arm up towards the sky, and then along the ear. This one really takes that exhale and finding your strength, magnetizing those feet together. Sweep on an inhale up towards the sky. Keep those legs stable, then straighten the leg. Inhale the arms up into the middle point here. Fill the body with breath and coordinate the other side. Exhale, switch the feet. Bend the left knee towards the toes. Tilt yourself over. Take the left arm to the left thigh. Right arm up towards the sky, and then next to the ear. Find your inhale, allow that to float you back up to a transition, straightening the legs into our midpoint. So let's celebrate the three of these poses and all of the opening that they create through the hips and finding that length in the spine and ultimately finding the breath as a guide. So if you have any confusion, all you have to coordinate this yourself is just look up at me, and I'm going to do all three. I'm going to do one rotation of all three, and you find your breath and that relationship in your movement and your breath. Begin in our parallel feet, and we will just allow you to do this, but you might hear my breath. That's all. Inhale. Can meet again in our wide forward bend. And if you threw a proud warrior, a peaceful warrior into your proud sequence, I congratulate you. I neglected to do that, but I know that you probably had a nice flow anyway. And we're gonna stand in wide forward bend with our feet parallel. This time, with this wide forward bend, we're gonna explore this clasp of the hands behind you. So clasp the fingers, and let's rest the thumbs at the base of the sacrum. So as you do that, feel that opening across the front of the body, across the chest, the collarbones. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale the head nice and tall, so allow those millimeters in between your vertebrae. And then exhale, hinging at those hip joints. We're gonna keep the spine long as we lean forward and towards a flat back forward bend. Magnetize through those feet so you feel your center. And then you can even begin to drape the spine down towards the earth. If that works for you, if you have low blood pressure or anything, maybe stay in the flat back. And even look at the world upside down here if you're available to do that. And then inhale back up, float back up with that core strength. And then now, if you're able to lift the hands away from the sacrum, that will take another stretch and another opening through your shoulders and your collarbones. Now, if that's too much for you, you can just do this again with resting it on the sacrum. Inhale, let's lift the hands away from towards the back of the room. And we'll bend forward again, hinging at the hips. If you're able to drop that and drape it down, look upside down, you'll feel that the hands will begin to drop or lift up towards the sky. Inhale yourself back up. Even reach the hands towards the sky as you do that. This could be more extreme, too extreme for some of you, and that's okay. So let's just drop the hands towards the earth now and feel that connection. Exhale and shake the arms out. Hopefully you feel a lot of relief here today in this mid and upper back. Let's take the hands to the top of the thighs and inwardly rotate that thigh flesh. And then inhale, get long and exhale, come into that forward bend. Your fingertips find the earth. And then we begin to bend or come in with the heel toe towards the midline of the body. So we're kind of hip width apart, bend the knees, and we're coming down to a seated position. And this time we're going to side sit. Just take a stretch here. So let's see, close the eyes, find your sits bones. If there's one lower than the other, you want to place that roll blanket underneath the lower side. Oh, nice even sits bones here. And then take the fingertips beside you. Inhale, a tall spine. Exhale, let's take a twist and walk our fingertips over in a circular. So as if you've got a circle around the body, a nice circular rug, for example, walk the fingertips along the edge of that circle as you turn the ribs over to the left, keeping that length through the spine, using those roots of your fingertips to stabilize everything as you take a twist, a healthy twist through the spine. We're also opening up our hips. Walk yourself back to center. And then from here, let's take a counter twist. Again, walk those fingertips along that circular shape. Beautiful. And then walk back to center. And this time we'll take the nice opener of the hip over on the left side. So let's again circular path there with the fingertips towards the left. And then you're going to take your torso and lean it over the left thigh. So we're taking a hip stretch on this left side. Fingertips are going to both come to the left side of your leg, like so, keeping that spine nice and tall. You're going to hinge over towards your fingertips on that left hip. You can bring the palms down below you and really feel the pull of your hands towards your left thigh to lengthen your spine. You're going to feel a hip stretch on the left side. If you want to come really deep into this, you can take the forearms down and begin to lengthen out your right leg behind you towards the back of the mat and towards the bottom of the mat. So it's a straight right leg. Do you feel the length on your right side while you also feel the left hip opening? Draping down here, feeling that melting energy towards the earth, building warmth in the body. Now you can just melt into the earth. Inhale yourself back up, unwind, and we'll take our nice core strength as we switch over to the other side. Right folded in front, left to the side. Close the eyes, find the lower sits bone, give it a boost. If there's any questions ever about this alignment issue with the sits bones, just let me know and I'll explain better some afterwards. Inhale, fingertips beside you, grow tall. Exhale, let's travel along that circle around us with the fingertips as we turn the ribs, and the shoulders, and the head over to the right. And then walk them around the other side for a counter twist. And then walk them back, feeling that rotation of the spine as we come over to the right. Walk the fingertips over on the other side of the right thigh. As you feel, you still feel stable through the pelvis, but you're feeling that twist in the upper spine as you walk the fingertips up towards that side, long side of the mat. Inhale, pull the fingers back towards the thigh as you grow tall through the spine, and exhale, palms down, or even forearms down. And then lengthen, if you'd like to, through the left leg, reaching it towards the bottom and the back of the mat. So you can creep that heel back towards the back of the mat. Exhale, connect with the earth, connect with that nice slow release. Right hip warmed up, more open. Let your next inhale bring you back up towards seated, toward that side sit. Unwind, and then we'll come towards our reclined position again. And take the hands to the back of the thighs. Make a slow trip with an exhale down to the mat so that you're taking a nice strengthening reminder on your core. Find the point where you want to just collapse and see if you can fortify a little more. And then allow yourself to release onto the mat. Bend the knees, take the soles of the feet a little bit wider than hip width apart, and take the knees together. One hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Take the eyes, close the eyes, and take a little scan. Can you get deep within those body connections, the hip joints, the shoulder joints, the whole spine? Find any points of tension that linger. Use your breath here to connect inward. Exhale. Notice the belly drops, allowing the release filtering out of the debris that remains. Inviting in the next big cleansing inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. And now we can take our strengthening yet therapeutic twist as we roll over onto the left side. Check your geometry angles here, that your shins are 90 degrees to the thighs, thighs are 90 degrees to the torso, and the torso remains perpendicular to the earth. As you take the palms together, we're going to do rolling twists, kind of accentuating this arc space above us. So there's like a nice arc of framing our bodies above us. Take the palms together, and then we'll take the right arm. This time we're, instead of tracing the left arm, we're just going to bring the right arm up to the sky, long and reaching up towards those clouds. As you turn with the ribs over towards your right and your shoulders. So you're going to come with T arms right away. They'll open up, lengthening the collarbones along the body. Feel the knees will start to separate. Let's keep them together. So this opener is through the mid and upper spine. Maybe gaze over your right fingertips. Oh, and really feel the back body melting into this molten earth below us. And now, if you could take the palms and connect with the earth, so place them towards the mat. Keep the knees together as you lift the knees, as if the knees are making that arc shape above the body, the semicircle. We're going to go over to the other side with our knees. Come up. Bring the back body up into the knees up position, and then we'll take the knees over to the other side. I'm gonna roll this way so you guys see me. And then you're gonna bring that arm over to the other side. So we're on our left side now. We're on our right side now. And then we're gonna bring that left arm up, the top arm up to the sky, make that arc, open out into T arms. So as you do this, notice the ribs turning and the shoulders reaching long through those T arms and really reaching and lifting up that rib will take you into this twist. And already, nice time for you to check in with the knees, check in that they're together. Exhale will bring you into a further release. The inhale allows you to tap into that strength and lift the knees up towards the ceiling, arc shape over to the other side. And then your other arm will reach up into that nice shape above you, bring the palms together. And then switching back and forth. Now from here, open up again, bring your top arm across into T, and then legs up. So take this path along that shape of the arc above you, with both sides of the body opening up into the T. Inhaling, you can lift up, and exhaling, land down on the other side. So we're sort of like the pages of a book flapping. If you've seen a book in the wind and those pages opening up and closing, sort of what we're doing here. Make this nice and fluid and fun. Follow the breath. And you find yourself on the last rotation, begin to roll over onto your back. Fantastic. And from here, we'll roll over onto our backs, soles of the feet on the floor. And let's take both knees and hug them towards the body. Take the hands to the shins and find your sacrum in your mind's eye. Press your shins into your hands and your hands into your shins. So you really can decompress the lower back here really nicely. Exhale, release, and then bring the knees towards the armpits. Again, find that sacrum. It's going to imprint on the mat, so you get a nice arch in that lower back. And then you'll come into happy baby. You can take the hands behind the thighs or on the shins or on the sides of the feet. Bring the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. And then we'll transition into our happy baby, rolling side to side. And from here, play with it however you want. You can even straighten if this is available for you, no pressure. If you want to straighten one leg to the side and then the other, or begin to move toward straighten. Either way, you've all seen babies play like this, so have fun. And then the sacrum, again, is your nice root at the bottom of the spine, keeping those healthy alignment there. Come back to stillness in this happy baby, feeling the thighs drop with your exhale. Sending nice fluid energy into those hips. And then release your feet or your ankles. Oh, bring the soles of the feet down to the earth. Begin to lengthen out into your nice spa finale here. We'll take a rolled blanket either under the neck arch or under the knees, giving you a little nice support below you. And then the palms, actually with your fists, grab the sides of your mat, pull down towards the bottom of the mat for extra length through the spine. And then release, roll the shoulder blades underneath you. And you'll see that the shoulders will just drop more into release. Often they'll want to pop up towards the ceiling, but you want to see if you can release them downward. And then open the palms to the sky. The feet roll out to the side. Now you can close the eyes and reconnect with the breath. And go internally again. Notice that your breath creates space in the body, within the body, and it also allows us to shine that energy around us. So maybe you feel an extra expansion of that bright energy inside of you, around you. We're going to put our music on, and you can drift into the breath, noticing the brightness that you've created in your practice, and allow it to percolate and then expand outward through each cell of the body. Take a nice deep breath and begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Bend the knees, roll over onto your right side. We'll meet in our prayer position, hands, seated position. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. Namaste.
Happy weekend.